right, we've made it through the week. I'm so glad that we were able to do that. I just want to say thank you for joining me on this journey. It has been a pleasure, and I hope that you have found something that can help you get started on your journey. That's the reason why I'm here. I'm here because of my own story. I didn't have anyone teaching me or providing information for me when I started this 13 years ago. And so I want to be that person for you. I want to be the person to help you learn something new so that you can make changes for yourself on your own personal journey. So if we haven't really met before, maybe you haven't really heard my story before, but it is a journey, it's a process. And so, just quickly, I remember when my husband and I were going to move to Texas. And this was, back in the day. And, before you move, the big move, I was like, gotta go to all the doctors. Went to all the doctors, got all the checkups, and got the good bill of health. Things are fine. My OBGYN was like, you're ready to have kids, you're super fertile. And so things were good. We were young-ish, but we were moving to a new phase of our life. And, it wasn't until we started to have infertility issues and struggles, and it was like we've been married for a couple of years and hadn't had kids yet. We were trying to figure out what was going on, what was wrong. So I decided to go back to the doctor. And partly because there were some symptoms I was having, but didn't really realize that they were symptoms at the time. And when I finally went to the doctor to talk about it, I was diagnosed with fibroids. I had 11. Yes, I said 11. The smallest was like a green pea, and the largest was like a grapefruit. And it's like all of a sudden you get this diagnosis, and it was just like all the things that I had been experiencing made sense. I was like, okay, we can do this. But because there really wasn't a lot of research, there really wasn't a lot of what do you do about this kind of happening or going on, I kind of sat on the decision of what to do. I finally found a specialist who specifically deals with fibroids. He was a doctor. And in his educational process, he was talking about you can never get rid of it. They never go away. They grow back until you start having kids, and he was saying all these things that I weren't really fond of. But the one thing that made me feel like I could trust him or go forward with him was his track record. He had a track record of 95% or 98% of having babies. And that was something that we wanted. And so at the time in 2009, there weren't all these different types of surgeries. There weren't all these different types of procedures. There wasn't all this natural path or healthy path to fixing these issues. So we decided to have a myomectomy. And really what that is just remove the fibroids out, keep the uterus intact so that you can have children. That's what I did. That was the option that I had. And so, but it wasn't until in the recovery process that I realized oh my goodness, if I had known about this a long time ago, there were some things that I could have done that might have helped. And so those were the changes. Those were the intentional habits that I changed over time, which has kept me in this place where I haven't had to have surgery. I haven't really had any additional issues or just none of that, because I made these changes along the way. Yes, I am not perfect, and I live my life, but I am in a place where if I know something is not quite right, then I know exactly what I need to do to make the changes and readjust and kind of get moving again. Because we're human. We slack off. We do things. But in either case, I still made these changes, which has allowed me the life that I have had. 2 children later, relatively healthy, no other major problems, but that's the choice that I made then. So along this journey, I've had 2 points in particular where I have noticed that I was slacking off. One was after having my son, and I started having some issues and pain again. That's because the fibroids were growing again. And so that was a signal to me that there were things that I needed to go back to doing and changing and keep up with. The second one happened a few years ago where, you're doing all the things you need to do, but you're still not losing weight, right? Well, come to find out, I started going through perimenopause and it also created a cyst. And so I was diagnosed with perimenopause and PCOS. And so that was a few years ago. And so now I'm in a place where I am adjusting again so that I can continue to be healthy and grow and to, have just a full life and not be restrictive in what I do. It's about being confident in your body and that you know what's going on with your body because you know that better than the doctor does. So you have to advocate for yourself. And that's why I love my OBGYN. She's not the same person that originally diagnosed me, but the OBGYN that I've had for the last, maybe 12 years now. She taught me to be an advocate for yourself. There are times where I've gone in and said, hey, this is what's going on. And she's like, okay, then let's do that. She has never pushed anything on me, has never said we need to do this. She's only educated me on what does the medical people say, because remember we talked about that. And then I tell her, well, what is the natural people saying? And then we come with a compromise and a plan together. And so that's why I love my OBGYN. So I am just here to tell you that this is a journey. It is not a quick fix. It is not something that changes overnight. This is a journey. I am still on this journey 13 years later. If you are having trouble still, I highly suggest that you find the right team to get behind you and that you get moving on your journey. The quicker you start moving and making changes, the quicker you will start seeing the changes in your life. I hope that my story has been helpful and has resonated with you in some kind of way so that it inspires you to move forward and take care of yourself. Again, I want to thank you for being on this journey with me this week, and that I hope that you found it helpful and that you're going to take something away that is going to change the rest of your life and transform the rest of your life. You have officially transformed into a goddess. I will talk to you soon. Bye now.